Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Boxing is crazy. A lot going on, men and women. Might as well break it down, right? Martin Bakole, for those of y'all who don't know, man, he had a fight scheduled May 23rd against Guido Vianello. Guido Vianello is a badass heavyweight out of Italy, out here making noise. I don't know what happened, man. He was supposed to be on the card that's going to be headlined by Usyk out there in Egypt, but all of a sudden he started saying that there's unknown reasons. He just pulled out the damn fight. Now, I personally think his ass isn't in shape, but at the same time, I mean, you got a big opportunity like this in a big fight out there in Egypt, big money, and just pulled out. That's why fans are out here, they're disappointed. Because Bakole's seen as a dangerous, avoided heavyweight. But then the guy Vianello is like, hey, I'll fight you. And that gave him a big opportunity to prove himself. So, always something going on in the heavyweight division, man. It's just really sad to see that he's not going to be fighting. And the bigger issue here is just the heavyweight division keeps getting disrupted, and the momentum for contenders keeps getting stalled. So I'm sure we'll find out something about Bakole, but most people who know Bakole know him for coming over here to the States and blasting Jared Anderson out the ring. But ever since then, you haven't seen much of Bakole. He came back and fought Joseph Parker and got clipped. But anyway, whatever's going on with him, I just say good luck. Now, David Morrell. David Morrell calls out Ben Whittaker. Now, David Morrell wasted no time going after Whittaker after his Caleb Smith fight got pulled. For some reason, Caleb Smith, they said it was an injury. He pulled out the fight. So it makes it interesting if, in fact, David Morrell can get the Whittaker fight. Whittaker said he'd fight him, but Whittaker does have a fight coming up. After that, he said he'd fight Morrell. But Morrell is dangerous, and he's an avoided puncher, man. Whittaker is flashy, rising star, Olympic pedigree, and this is risk versus hype. It really is. Danger versus marketability. Fans' reaction, man. Some want Whittaker to take it. Prove yourself now. Others say, nah, it's too soon. Protect the star. Don't get in there with David Morrell. David Morrell and David Benavidez had a really good fight, really exciting fight. Benavidez was able to up it a bit more than Morrell, but Morrell made a very good account of himself. So for Whittaker, is it too soon? I don't know, but this is what boxing is about. Chances make champions. So if Whittaker were to take the fight and win, I mean, then the risk was worth it. But if he takes the fight and lose, well, he can rebuild, but they would just say, hey, Morrell just had more experience. Whittaker took a shot. And I don't think the fans they'd be too disappointed in him. Now, speaking of David Morrell and Benavidez is fighting Zurdo Ramirez on May 2nd, Cinco de Mayo weekend. And this is a real fight. There's no fluff here with Benavidez and Zurdo. There's a lot at stake. Dominance at cruiserweight, potentially going on in the next fight to continue unifying the division. And who knows, maybe they can end up in position to fight for undisputed. But there's a lot at stake because the whole thing about legacy and positioning, the Zuffa boxing, plucked Jaya Pattaya, took his belt. I think there's a clear pathway here to becoming undisputed for whoever wins this fight, especially with Jaya Pattaya being out the mix. I still don't quite agree with how all that's being handled, but the bottom line is that the situation is what it is now. Zurdo, he's a big boy, man. Huge frame. He's got experience. He's durable. He got durability. Benavidez, pressure fighter, volume, aggression. Benavidez got some damn devil in him, doesn't he? Benavidez is on demon time. That he gets in that ring, Benavidez is not trying to just beat you. Like, no kidding, Benavidez will beat you to death. That's how violent that guy is. So for Zurdo, I hope he's ready, because it's not going to be an easy fight. Win, lose, or draw, which I don't see him winning, But no matter what happens, he's going to know he was in a fight. But I got Benavidez winning that fight with no problem. Some fans say it's a 50-50 fight. It may have 50-50 energy, but it ain't a 50-50 fight in my opinion. One thing's for sure, it's not a mismatch. I think we're going to get action. Again, I just think the difference is David Benavidez is a demon. And I'm being real with you. He does not care. You can have your wife there, your kids there. He doesn't care. He ain't going to be like Deontay Wilder saying, I love you, man. No, he ain't doing that shit. He like, I'm going to kill your ass. So, good luck to Gilberto. Because he got his hands, I think he has his hands full with David Benavidez. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Now, talking about having your hands full, fans do. DAZN, y'all notice DAZN keep raising the damn prices? Every damn week, every damn month. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Now they're aiming for 12 pay-per-views this year. And fans are saying, yo, hold your horses, stop taking it to the stupid. You know what I'm saying? These pay-per-views, man, 12? You want us to keep paying $50, $60? What you trying to have people pay, man? $600, $700 a year? And pay-per-view? Are you crazy? You see, boxing already struggles with accessibility. Now you coming out here killing fans with pay-per-views, that equals fan fatigue. Plus you were out here saying the pay-per-view model is dead, and then you realize that, holy shit, we need to have pay-per-view events in order to make this work. So fans are just looking at DAZN like, yo, everything that y'all said y'all were against initially, now you guys are doing the same things. So what makes you special? But at the end of the day, fans are gonna pick and choose. It's either you want to watch the fight, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna either order it or get a Fire Stick and risk the connectivity being off or the stream getting cut. You're going to figure it out. But I just think overpricing could hurt the sport long term because fans already don't want to pay for any damn thing. And DAZN, with everything they promise, I mean, they're kind of going against it. So it is what it is. Now, Keyshawn Davis is back in the mix. Now, on May 16th, he is going to be fighting Nahir Albright. Now, they fought already before. And Keyshawn got buzzed by Albright, but he did beat him. But they fought once before. Keyshawn's fighting him again. Now, I don't know why he's fighting him again. Maybe he feels it's an easy fight. He wants to avenge his brother's loss. Maybe because he can't get anyone else to fight him. I don't know. But they're going to be fighting there in Norfolk, Virginia. And Keyshawn, who's a silver medalist, he's smooth, composed, high IQ. He's getting better and better and better every fight. But for him, I think this is just one of those fights to stay active, build towards a bigger name. Fans are expecting dominance, but they're still watching the development of everything here. I'm going to tell you, man, Nahir Albright, he's not coming to lose. And at this point, it makes me wonder, when are people going to give Nahir his credit? You know, Nahir is no joke, man. There's something special about him. And I think he's going to have all the confidence in the world. The worst thing that can happen for Keyshawn is he gets in there and takes a loss. All of that talk, all of that bravado, all of that confidence, that shit goes out the window if he loses. But at the end of the day, I saw how he fought against Jermaine Ortiz. Yo, man, what's his name looked special. Keyshawn looked special. But Nahir hits harder than Ortiz. But Keyshawn did look special in that fight. I can't lie. Next fight, O'Shaquie Foster and Ray Ford. Man, this is the one that I am looking forward to. Technical fighter versus explosive fighter versus technical fighter, however you want to categorize these fellas. This matchup is going to be the one, man. Now for Foster, he's slick, defensive, and smart. I remember watching him fight Ray Vargas. And that was my first time really watching O'Shaquie. And I was like, who the hell is this? I couldn't believe how he was boxing, how he was moving in and out, the speed. I just couldn't believe it. Absolutely amazing fighter. And then you have Ray Ford. Young, hungry, aggressive. He can scrap too. But I tell you what, for the fans, they're going to love this fight. You know why? diehard boxing fans, because this is a real skill matchup. When you watch these two guys fight, you see something that you just don't find in every fighter. You know, the skill level, the IQ, it's on a whole nother level, man. A whole nother level. That's why I say this is a real skill matchup. And I think for a lot of people out there, they're sleeping on this fight, but I'm telling you, this is a mess around to be fight of the year. And I am looking forward to it. That fight's happening on May 30th. Now, Abdullah Mason and Joe Cordina, they're fighting on July 4th. Now, with Mason, he's a champion now. But he's still a rising star. He's explosive. He's confident. Again, Joe Cordina, look, he's a proven champion, technical. He's experienced. I already know who wins this fight. I'm kind of leaning towards Abdullah, the young bull who's making noise. He showed us what he's about in his last fight. But I think this boils down to youth versus experience. And I think this, again, is another one of those major tests for Abdullah Mason. And that's what he needs. He needs to continue moving up the ladder, going after stiffer and stiffer competition. And he's got to understand, man, you're a champion now. You know what I mean? You got a title. So this shit about being a contender and all, it's over. Every fight now is going to be hard. And we're going to see if Abdullah Mason can rise to the occasion, because Joe Cordina is no joke. Now, talk about something where I don't know if it's a joke or not. It's Tyson Fury and Arslanbek Makhmudov. They're going to be fighting on Netflix this weekend, and nobody's talking about it. There's no buzz. Fans don't seem to be excited. I mean, maybe because they're looking at Makhmudov as a joke. And Fury's brand is slightly cooked ever since he just couldn't get the job done against Usyk. But I'm going to tell you, Fury hasn't looked the same. We talk about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder took something out of Fury as well, you know. Plus, I gotta question Fury's motivation. Is his motivation solely money? Because he's got money. Tyson Fury's sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars. So how conditioned can a fighter who keeps retiring, how conditioned can he get physically and mentally when you're sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars? So we'll see how that fight plays out. You know, Tyson Fury. I'm not really excited about watching this guy fight. I know I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to watch him fight. I'll be honest with you. The ship sailed. All the excitement around Tyson Fury, that whole buzz died down. Him, AJ, Wilder, Dillian White, Luis Ortiz. They had a good run, but I just think it's over. There's more of a buzz about the younger guys, the Wardleys, the Thomas. But Tyson Fury is still a big name, but we'll see how it goes. But he's fighting this weekend, for those of y'all who didn't know. And I actually think Tyson Fury wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if Makhmudov clipped him. I would not be surprised. Just like I won't be surprised if Regis Prograis clips Conor Benn. You know what I mean? And I noticed there's a shift in public opinion. More fans are picking Prograis. They're saying he's got the experience, he's got power, he's proven against top competition, and he's moving up, so he shouldn't be weight drained, shouldn't be depleted. They're saying Prograis should be stronger than ever. Plus, they said, with Prograis and Conor Benn, they're the same damn size. Just Conor Benn's head is bigger. Big old potato head looking motherfucker. But let me just get this clear. For those y'all who saying Regis Prograis doesn't have a chance, Conor Benn is coming down to 150. Conor Benn looks weak. So does Regis beat him? I think Regis is going to beat Conor Benn. I do. I know some of y'all don't think so, but Conor Benn will have to come out and jump on him early, be explosive early. That's his only bet. The longer the fight goes, the more it's going to favor Regis. And remember, you got one coming down in weight. That's Conor. I think he's going to be much weaker than when he fought Eubank Jr. And you got one coming up in weight. who I think is going to be much stronger than he was at those lighter weights, and that's Regis. So, really good fight, but I just think for both of them, this is a chance to continue building credibility. But again, I just have a feeling Prograis is going to get him. Now, Frazier Clark and Justin Hooney, they're fighting on the Tyson Fury undercard. And fans are excited because you got two big, skilled, legit contenders. And you know when them boys get in the ring, only one's going to walk out. There's a chance neither one walk out. You know, they better get carried out on a stretcher. Big, strong fighters. Hooney from Australia and then Frazier from the UK. But again, this is a fight that they both need because whoever wins, now they take a real step towards heavyweight relevance. And right now there's so much going on in the heavyweight division. Neither one of these guys can afford to take a loss. They need to win. Now, Deontay Wilder and Joshua. To that I say, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Fans are concerned. They're really, really concerned about Wilder. They're saying he doesn't look the same. Confidence is off. Timing is off. Footwork, everything. They say he's just totally unraveled ever since Mark Breland was fired. But at the end of the day, Wilder did what he thought was best for him and his team. And he seems to be comfortable in the space that he's in. Now, for Joshua, he's been able to rebuild himself. He's more composed. But Joshua has, we described it last night as the 1,000-yard stare, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua's gone through a lot, losing his friends. But you can look in his eyes and see Joshua's just a guy who just doesn't care. You know, when it comes to that fighting, what I mean doesn't care means whoever you put in front of him. You can see that Joshua's going to tear somebody's head off. But I think that's a good fight. But Wilder could get outboxed and hurt. And I think Wilder get knocked out in the first round. And again, I'm rooting for Wilder. I just got to be real with my assessment. I just don't think Wilder's going to be able to be on the back foot thinking he can get out of the way of AJ's punches because AJ's reach is just as long as Wilder's and Fury. So Fury was able to get to Wilder. AJ's going to be able to get to him. So we'll see how all that plays out. Now, Ricardo Torres Jr., he talking more and more now. Every time I look up, he doing an interview now. But I tell you what, he look up and mess around, land that Moses Atama fight he's calling for. I'm just telling you right now, his ass going to get knocked out. Torres wants Moses Atama. And everybody's saying that's a bad idea. When you look at Atama, man, extremely dangerous. Advanced beyond his years. So for Torres, I mean, does he beat him? I doubt it, but I'll say this. If Torres gets in there and he wins, he could derail Atama's career. But at the same time, he gets in there with Atama and gets knocked out, Atama can derail his career. And if you ask me who I think wins, I'm telling you, I think Atama takes him. Now, lastly, before I get up out of here, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. I'll tell you what here, somebody putting duck sauce on the fried rice. I'm going to go ahead and call it out. Floyd Mayweather putting duck sauce on the fried rice. This man should just fight Pacquiao. They signed a contract. Floyd took the advance. He took the advance. And now all of a sudden he wants to turn it from a professional, officially sanctioned fight to an exhibition. To that I say in the most respectful way, Floyd Mayweather, hold your horses, stop taking it to the stupid. There's all kind of rumors going on about these two guys, but I'll tell you what, even fans are saying, all right, Floyd Mayweather fans are saying, hey, he may be ducking because he's trying to turn this into an exhibition. We notice his movements are off. You know, some are laughing, again, calling it duck sauce, a cash grab move. But the reality is, what I said in the beginning, fans want a real fight. Even at the edge, Mayweather, Pacquiao, fans want a real fight. They don't want all this BS. We'll find out if we're going to get it because Floyd took some of that advance money. I can't see him taking the advance and then being able to change it to an exhibition. Floyd may have just got himself into even more trouble with all of his shenanigans and shit. Anyway, man, boxing's crazy. Every day, something new from the men and the women. Anyway, man, y'all keep cool, all right? But that Tyson Fury shit who's fighting this weekend. That's crazy to me that the big sausage has a fight this weekend and no one's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. Anyway, y'all keep cool, all right? In the breeze.